Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Crazy Over Parties. Okay, so I am already at a setup, guys. I am at Morton Steakhouse in Atlanta, and I have a party decor set up for 22 guests, and it's all black, red, and gold. While I am working on the backdrop and the balloons, I have my mom setting tables. So I will show you guys pictures of that setup shortly, but we're going to get into this balloon garland first. So as you guys know, I like to start my garland with 11 and 17-inch balloons. For this garland, I pretty much built the base out of 11-inch balloons. So we're going to overinflate our balloons and then release some of the air as we press the balloon against our skin so we can get that nice shape that we like. We don't want our balloons to be pear-shaped. We want them to be nice and round if we can. This garland is going to be all black. By now, I'm sure if you watch my videos, you know that I love a solid color balloon garland. So I was very happy when the client was like she wanted all black balloons. So we're going to tie 4 balloons together, and then we're going to put 4 more balloons on top of that. I'm going to get off track a little bit here, and I want to thank you guys for getting me to 600 subscribers. I really appreciate that. Y'all, please make sure that you like, subscribe, share the channel with anybody that you know that would enjoy these videos that I post. I am going to make sure that I get more content out regularly for you guys, and I would appreciate if you guys just share the channel and help me out. Okay, back to the balloon garland. I only had about 45 minutes left to get this garland together, so I am going to show you how I did this in 30 minutes, and I was still able to go back and check my tables and make sure that everything was where it was supposed to be. So these are the balloons that I blew up, and I did go back and blow up a few more balloons just to make sure that I had it complete. And you guys know that I like to place 4 balloons and then another 4 balloons on top of each other by tying the necks together. I'm going to repeat that process until I get most of my balloons tied together so I do not have to use 260s and I'm saving on material. Guys, balloons are not cheap, okay? They are not, with a passion in the knot. They are not cheap. So wherever I can save on material, please believe that I try to do that. Like everything else with inflation, balloons have skyrocketed, and I want to save on costs wherever I can. The whole point of being in business is to make sure that you make a profit. So do not forget about that when you are pricing your clients. Okay, you guys know I got my 260s now, and I'm going to tie a 260 around the end of one side of the balloons, and then on the other side of the 260, I'm going to tie that to the wall with one of my hooks. Once I got the balloon garland where I wanted it to be and it was hung in place, I went ahead and started adding a few details. So I have 2 sets of balloons tied on each side of my 260, and I am going to wrap that 260 around the balloon garland or around the balloon where I want it to go. I am going to do another video showing how to use rubber bands, but for now, for this setup, being that it is for a client, I went ahead and did what I am familiar with, which is my 260s to add my details. When you're setting up your events or your balloons, don't forget a step ladder because you always, 9 times out of 10, will need one. I'm about 5'7", 5'8", and that backdrop is 6 feet tall, and I still needed my step ladder to kind of get to the top of the garland. So just try to always remember your step ladder. Worst case scenario, you don't need it, but you have one available. And then shout out to all my vendors. I'm not sure if they're going to watch this video or not, but if they are, kudos to you guys. Guys, it's so important to have vendors that are on the same page with you, or they will be there when you need them. I use for this event, I used Insane Party Rentals and Light of the Party, and both of them deliver on time, and they set up the focal area the way I wanted it to be. And if you have set up an event before, you know how quick time moves. So you always need vendors that's on your side and ready to help get the job done. So again, shout out to them, Insane Party Rentals and Light of the Party. If you guys are ever in the Atlanta area, check them out. So guys, I moved that big 24-inch balloon at the top to the back because it was overtaking the backdrop and the balloons. So I pushed it back a little bit so you could still see it, but it wouldn't be so overpowering. And then that's garland that I have in my hand. I am going to add that to the top to add a little bit more detail because it was kind of blank right there. And I wanted it to be nice and full for this setup. I could have used a glue dot to add those balloons, that set of balloons that I have in my hand, to the cluster that's already there tied to the backdrop. But I want to make sure that this garland will not fall and that it's in place. If I use a 260, I am sure that it will hold the entire time of this event and I will not have to worry about it falling. So I'm going to use a 260 to secure it, and then I'm going to use another set of 260s to add more details to those balloons. So you guys can see whenever I am adding details to my garland, I'm using 260s to add it. Now I am building the garland that will go on the side of the D marquee. And I'm using the same concept that I used from the beginning. I'm tying the necks of the balloons together. So right here, guys, on the letter D, we have several chairs, extra chairs that Morton's had available. And the chairs were placed right next to the wall where my letter D is. I always tell you guys that if you have something available, use it. So I used the chairs and I tied a 260 to the bottom of the chair to my balloon garland just to hold it in place. I'm going to add a few more balloons in the middle where the K and the D are at the top, and then this balloon garland will be done. So you guys keep watching and let's see how this garland turns out. Close that gap you guys see at the top. I'm going to put a glue dot right there, and I'm going to place a glue dot on each side of the balloons that's already placed on the backdrop to hold that in place. Since I had a few red roses left over, I decided to add a few of them to the balloon garland. To make sure that your flowers are in place and they won't fall out, just put a glue dot on the side of it and push it to the balloon where you want it to go, and it will hold for your entire event. And this is how my focal area turned out. You guys, I loved the way it came out. Okay, I absolutely loved it. It's something about all black for me, but with the little detail of the red roses, it was perfect. I am not the best at taking pictures and videos, but I tried. And then this was my table setting. I decided to make sure that the birthday girl had a special chair that you guys saw in front of the backdrop, that all gold chair. I decided to use black champagne glasses, customized menu cards, velvet tablecloths, and napkins, and gold forks. Everything about this event turned out perfect. Mom was happy, daughter was happy, everyone was happy for this event. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, share the channel with anyone that you know that will enjoy it. And I look forward to getting to 1K followers / subscribers very soon. So you guys take care and be safe.